Welcome to UnScripted. Quick note before we begin. The cast and crew will accept zero responsibility or liability for any decisions that listeners make after listening to us, be that good or otherwise. Honestly, people, do not take life advice from us, as we are not experts in anything useful. We're simply here to share our opinions and hopefully provoke thought and not wrath. And of course, if we hurt your feelings, that will be addressed at some point in life. But hopefully today is not that day. So listen responsibly and enjoy.
Welcome everybody. What is another episode of UnScripted? We are here with the usual suspects. Well, most of the usual the illustrious, the one with an impeccable 30 plus years in the media, Rodney Campbell. Can't water down your name in the brother, yeah.
Youth.
Yeah, legend of the game, true.
Babalo in a lead, you know.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We have international reggae dancer superstar.
Big up and bless you.
Cricket.O.K. Alright, so now we have one of them man they were legendary a long time, but I think Jamaicans never know that.
Until
See me? Earlier this morning, man, the man of reason I remember a thing named Shakers. From this summer, I remember Otis. You know? That was a part of the money used to keep over Portmore. One place from a rooftop. Before the toll line and something, the time they had Causeway Bridge. Can you imagine a long time?
Yeah, man.
That's the man.
And then I see the man balance. I see the man take that and turn that into a media career, hosting career. Yeah, I mean, all kind of thing. Now you're already. What's the current?
Yeah, just whole heap of things.
Yeah.
But really, yeah, man, we have a little Monday night show on News Talk.
Yeah.
Real talk, regional entertainment and lifestyle.
Yes.
What about your station today?
Yeah.
That's a Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah, nationwide.
Jamaican dad.
Jamaican dads.
And
With a
Jamaican dads as
Yeah.
well.
With a Z.
Yeah, with a Z.
So
Yeah.
Garth isn't here as you can imagine. So Otis are going to sit in for
Of
Garth.
course.
And of course,
Who are you?
I am Coffee, just the original Coffee. Because the other one,
tea.
not the pregnant one, the other one.
Oh, they got them tea.
Straight up.
Yeah. My wife tea.
Yeah. Keep it straight. Keep it
But now
simple.
I'm going to set me. But now I'm going to set me up. What you say about the girl in tea?
So wife alone like you then?
Yeah. Yes, right.
No, right answer.
Yes.
Right answer.
Bro,
Yeah,
I'm just asking.
honestly.
How much time have I done a card for you?
Ain't nobody come to see you all this daily. I turn it in a meme right now.
Yeah, bad.
Them start
He
coming
can't
to
help
me now.
himself. We have proven this through every episode. He can't help himself.
Me used to him.
Mm.
Hey. Well, we're not that close.
Used to me, brother. What you do?
Today will be a fun show. Big up everybody who has tuned in. I don't know if nobody else get feedback. I'm getting feedback. People, surprisingly, some people from out of the blue, they're like, yo, I'm see a podcast. It's a good look. So, yeah, big up to all of them. Thanks for the support. I appreciate the feedback. I think what we have managed to do thus far is to at least, gather some interest. And people more than ever want to see what we have to offer. And I think the topic this week will kind of give that. This week we're going to talk about what it takes. What does it mean to be a real man?
Some people are uncomfortable, don't know.
With the term.
Yeah, people are getting can't step on, but that's not everywhere.
And real man has a tendency to offend people. So when I talk about false man versus real man, well, actual meaning of man and not boy.
Yeah.
In practical terms, we're not talking about no theory.
Yeah.
We're talking about
In the streets, in
As
the
men.
office, in life, man.
Society,
how we go
community,
about representing
Yeah.
household.
what we're supposed to stand for, what we're supposed to contribute, what we're supposed to look like to those looking up to us.
Straight.
And I think, they say start the clock.
The whole glass.
And I think too many misguided youth in our society. When I say youth, I don't just mean males. I mean females too, you see me? Like, when I see what I go on, it almost embarrassing to see some of the things that we say happen in schools. I mean, it used to always happen, to be fair. We see the bullying in other schools and certain things, but some aspects of it, I feel like them youth just come from a place that them, when them hear, or when them sip on TV and them think it cool, them interpret that and try to rain at that.
And one of the technicalities, you see, when you don't know what you're supposed to be operating as, then you find that you're seeking a little bit more, and that creates a chaos, that creates the outliers, that creates the extremists. So that's part of the problem, where we don't have enough examples to say this is what manhood looks like, this is what pre-man.
Pause.
Well, sorry. Pre-becoming a man. That is what it looks like. And as such, you prepare yourself to go into that phase in another way.
I'll be very honest with you. I'll be very honest with you though.
Prepare yourself for going into this phase.
Hey,
That's all we do.
Well, that's space.
But throughout life, we prepare ourselves to enter the space.
But I'll tell you the truth. You know, when you seriously think about it, and this is what makes people very uncomfortable a lot of the times. Our women, yes, our grandmothers, our mothers, our women, socialize our boys, generally socialize our boys in the most dysfunctional way. We, as men, aid and abet in a large way the dysfunction of youth. And then we wonder, all these women sit down when them buck up on men. What them expect of men is not who them been helping to grow and create.
No.
You know? So you teach the youth to be irresponsible. Him sister must be responsible. You teach the youth to love in discipline. Him sister must. So watch how the thing are work, you know. And eventually, when you put together the girl who has been grown a certain way and the boy who grew a certain way, then we say, boy, you know, see how the man them weak in a society and how them this and how them that. And we plant that, make it set root and we wait until it reach 1 go 3 steps. And we say, 3 are wrong, you know.
But then who defines what that is supposed to look like? What establishment is there that defines it? Everybody have to just create their own definition right now. I don't see clear paths.
40,
and that's
50,
part of
40, 50 years ago, man and fat and them, man I know, you start to understand if you can trace the difference between that society and this. You understand it?
It's very tricky because the thing is, you know, depending on your upbringing, depending on your surrounding and your circumstances, being a real man can look different ways. So may I try to find a universal definition. That's what so I'm gonna say that because like I try to figure it. To me, like this is something that I've been pondering for years.
I think I can help you with that. So I think there are some qualities. We can't define.
Well, no, before you even reach the quality,
Okay.
me have one sentence when I come to that has been guiding me for a long time. What if people have ideas of where they want to go and like what them expect them life to look like, but I feel like a real man is the one with a vision and a plan and a dedication to the execution of that plan. That you don't see that much in the youths them nowadays. They must say, yo, them want this and them want that and them want that. So them dreaming, but them don't have a clear vision and them don't have a step-by-step plan on how to get there, and them not willing enough to even take the first steps
And appreciate the sacrifice.
and appreciate the sacrifice that comes along with that.
I appreciate the interpretation they create because
Long time I pre.
along that line with you, my brother. And to me, a real man work is never done. So a real man understand leadership and the need for guidance. Ambition with the need for pursuit constantly. The seeking of not information but knowledge. And the willingness to understand that the work never ends. Once no real man don't sit down and feel say him arrive at a destination and his journey is complete. Because there's always more in the pursuit of becoming. Once you reach our state and say, I hear me, I hate you know. Then you know achieve that door.
But
You'll never get there. So once we understand that to perfect is to improve.
constantly.
Well, to improve is to change, and to perfect is to change constantly. So if we're aiming for perfection, we constantly are going to evolve and are going to change. But I think there are some things that never change, we never variate from them, and those are the pillars that I kind of want us to say, you know, we can't define a good man. I don't think we'll ever be in a space to define it.
But Coffee, before you define, I want to make sure you don't hurt yourself, you know, because I'm sure there'll be somebody watching the podcast who are going to use a term, toxic masculinity.
Well, good something, man.
Yeah.
If it's toxic, man.
But
Yeah, man.
that comes to that.
So I wait for the definition because at the end of the day,
No, but that's
I
part of the.
I've
that's
got
a
on
part of
record.
Mm.
I believe that is maybe how I need to be represented 24/7, whether you want to consider it toxic or not. But the real masculinity, as far as I'm concerned, I have an overbearing desire to protect, to lead, to be the one who is willing to, as I mentioned, sacrifice for the greater good.
Sorry for cutting, but man, right there's someone else for the greater good, because you mentioned good man a while ago, but good man and real man are two different.
Yeah, absolutely.
Different things,
They
because
can
sometimes
be
you have to be.
different and they can be the same.
Sometimes you have to be a bad man for people who own good,
Absolutely.
and for your own good.
Absolutely.
Coffee,
Yeah.
you'd have kill for your children?
Absolutely. What?
Oh God.
Hold on now. Would you kill for your children?
On camera?
No.
Done.
Would you kill for your children?
That can be a question, of course.
All right. Would you love, hug and cry holding your children if can you have the ability to hold them, hug them
And show them a softer side?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That is the foundation of man. There are people who don't have the capacity to go to the needed extreme.
Either extreme.
A man cannot be a passive human being, afraid to go where he needs to go, or afraid to step, or too brave to know when to step back and allow the center. So this toxic argument is built by people who want to erase over yourself and keep you over yourself. We will term it something else. It's the strength of man. And women say they want that strong man. Don't it?
Of course, they need.
Okay, so what is the opposite of that masculinity?
Yeah, all right, watch this.
To be feminine.
So what you said, if I'm going to summarize, because I listen to them, but if I'm going to summarize, what you said, a man must be driven. You have a goal, you know where you want to go. You have a vision, you have a plan. And you must be disciplined because you have to execute that plan flawlessly. You see what I said? So I break out characteristics out of what you say. So you see me? Be driven, be disciplined in the pursuit of what you do. You go on a whole different extreme. You speak to protection. You speak to support. You speak to nurturing, even though that's still not really expected from men. You understand what I mean? We have the capacity to do it.
Willingness to.
Exactly.
Understand.
You speak to a more of a man who grounded in who he is. So much so that no matter what somebody want to think or how somebody want to interpret something, you know what I mean? That man must say, yo, you might deem it toxic, but I deem it important for me to pass on these values because these are essential. These are parts of me that I will never compromise on.
And they're
These are
not
my
necessary
non-negotiables.
for
You would
every
deviate from
society.
these
Absolutely.
things, yeah.
Because, John Culture, when you think about society, we always remove ourselves from nature. But we are human beings, so we are such higher beings. But if you step back and look at the animal kingdom and how they operate, you appreciate why there are roles It's not by accident why one gender is not normally stronger. It's because there must be a gender that takes on that role of the risk, take on that role of the protect. And if I'm going to be your greatest protector, then there must be something stronger in me. I have to have a mindset to say that this is where I stand, my ground for the people I protect.
That's natural selection. I mean, the fittest, we always break it down to say the fittest are the fit survive.
Exactly.
But it's not physically fit per se. You know what I mean?
In our modern era, it has to transcend to not just physical strength, but mental.
Because now we're dealing with
focus.
We're dealing with people who are manipulators. You know what I mean? We are dealing with, for lack of a better term, bad mind. There are some people just envious and they don't like to see you progress because your progress means your highlight for them failure in their mind. You know what I mean? Stuff like that are things we have to deal with.
But in many ways, that's how enough people grow. Understand, say.
So you go back to the foundation.
No.
What
I say to you is, Craig started with, I think, one of the most fundamental things that is sometimes neglected in who we become as men. The reason people can sit and tell you what they believe in, if you go in a community and everybody in a community say, we born church, you have to understand as them grow older and even go to other communities, why them come with this philosophy. Maybe over time, being in a situation that everybody else have got church and talk about church, they might now gain a little experience.
Yeah.
Only probably as man, when your mother sit down and I look across the neighbor yard and I try to say how it is that our picnic at the well, she find all kind of reason, negative reason for suggest this and that and who over there so buy TV, negative. Mr. Chin up on the road, the reason why him have that shop there, negative. Mm-hmm. You walk with a philosophy where tell you say, the world against you, everybody are them and them, we are holding down in our life, and then we start say, yeah, hear me not now, go on now, my lord. And we say, you're worthless. You can't think like that as man. True, you reach a certain age, you must seek the knowledge.
Alright, man, understand.
But what may I say to you, we must understand sometimes, not necessarily agree, how some youths come to where them is.
Yeah.
Because if you walk in a certain community, you understand that to step out and say you have the ambition or you have the drive to be
more than what you are.
Suddenly, 6 months up and I say, so we are doing.
You feel like
you're
better
than man.
Yeah. You feel like they're better than we. And that's why enough youth feel like they have to dumb down themselves, brother. You know what I tell me? Unfortunately, we never grew in the ghetto, but spend time in the ghetto.
Not unfortunately. Yeah, alright when you grow, a good place to grow.
Yeah, big up moment. Mama work hard to make sure someone grow up at home.
Yeah.
But, you know, when I can play ball on certain ends and, you know what I mean? You know the game go, you play sports, you can find yourself in certain spaces. And I can speak standard English if I want to. But especially in those spaces, you know some of proper nerd, I read all heap. I expose them side to me in certain spaces, brother, because people see that as a weakness and them deem that as something where, as a younger youth when I grew up, I used to shun that side them, I used to feel like I don't want to embrace that side them because
of the influences.
Yeah, the people when they're around me, like, they make me feel like that's a bad thing. Like if you're smart, you're a punk. You know what I say? I mean, never want to be a punk, so you don't know, you hold up and you embrace your thug side, your manly side, and you shun the other side. But the truth is, nothing wrong with that. Like, so what if you read books?
But Coffee,
growing.
You hit the nail on the head when it comes to how a man represents in a society. And for me, I'm speaking now in my home. I come from the ghetto.
Right.
I spent most of my younger life growing up in Portmore, but at Maxfield, I come from dark part of Maxfield. But I grew up with a father who, although him do everything you could imagine negative, I wasn't allowed to. And he would always show me that the world is a much bigger place with greater possibilities. So I see the same bridge in them when I'm a lawyer for walk, go school with and ramp without the so. When them gone on road at night time, 6, 7 o'clock, nobody can find them. You have the woman. They might can't read the book them that I read, but they might go tell me, make sure you sit down and read it. And tell me why inside there.
Explain.
Because he represents, he understands that he must create an ideology, a philosophy, a system, a culture that governs the household. And it must be one that lifts that household to another level.
Absolutely.
How many men represent themselves real and that never take intelligence or money? It takes just a personal instinct as a man that it must lift whatever we're in.
Yeah, you must improve your environment in some way, shape, or form. But hold on, before that, I want to mention a thing. A while ago, Otis, when I hear you talking about how your father was around for growing up. The thing is, which we never mention when we talk about the difference between, well, I don't even know what the broader category is, but a real man versus a man or them man there, right? If you notice, there's no, I've never heard a distinction like that when they're referring to women. Right? She's a real woman. You know, hear nobody say those things.
That's discrimination.
You don't hear that. But the reason for that is that being a real man requires dedicated, disciplined effort.
It's something you have to work on.
You have to. It requires work. It requires hard work. You can't. You don't just get it.
You should have carried some gold coin them. Should I deserve a gold coin?
No. But the thing is, you can't reach it neither without guidance. And no woman can teach you or tell you what it is because they don't have a fucking clue.
You might use a gold coin.
Them can talk what is a real man from now till that kingdom.
I promise you tell them.
The only title women get in the last 15 years that sit as the embodiment of so many things, she's a strong woman. From here, she's a strong.
Because she not
no, you don't have to put any other. Hold on.
Let them talk about it.
No. What me I said to you is
I know what you mean.
The woman who is called a strong woman in 2025 don't need to do nothing more in her life. And in the next 25 years, she will be still called. No matter what else she did do or don't do.
Yeah.
She was always a strong woman. The man who is called a strong man today.
Yeah, man.
You say next month, if him sit down, so.
Yeah, man.
And a man say, I want to go on.
Let's boy.
Brother, me tell you the pressure. You know, see me, I tell you, man.
We have to represent.
The man like cardboard, they went up there. And you
We have to represent
like funny. How easy. That is why they continue this argument that says, who is this man? This man cannot be satisfied with or appreciate a place and say the journey done.
Because it never ends.
It never really ends.
There is no end to
You
the
must
journey.
always be seeking.
And that is what you need a father to tell you. Or at least a positive role. A positive role to be able to.
Thank you. Me like how you make
because
sure.
nobody can.
A female can't understand.
You need somebody have to tell you, say, listen, there is no, I don't want to say light at the end of the tunnel, but there's no pot of gold.
Right.
Yeah? There's no end
As
point.
the saying is, nobody's coming to save you.
Not for sure.
It's you.
You have to figure it out yourself.
Always
You have to do it
remember
today, you have to do it tomorrow, you have to do it next week, you have to do it next month, next year, next decade. You have to figure it out. You have to figure it out. And you will always have to figure it out until the day you're dead.
Absolutely.
4 hours sit down yourself.
And you're going to have to figure it out after that. We don't know.
That's why you buy insurance, people. That's why you buy insurance. So I'll talk to
The
you
proceeding was brought to you by Otis.
Otis Hamilton and so financial advice. Great financial advice.
You see, we are doing the maths now. This is what we call the actual data. 4 hours sit down now. You mentioned your father already. Please take note that you mentioned that your father, in spite of how him did it good, your father was in your life 100%?
No.
Your father was in your life 100%?
Unfortunately, couldn't be.
So we sit here as 4 men. It is fair to say, we not cruff. But point out that to suggest to you that when Craig made the statement a while ago, all heap of people jump up and talk about, oh, that's why fathers are important. My most dysfunctional friend them have them father in them house from day one.
Facts.
What you call me grew up come see some model families with father, mother married, living out. Some of the most dysfunctional household.
Yeah.
But the one thing me learn,
Yes.
you see the next part.
You too.
Me too. The next part when Craig said, are positive male role models.
Absolutely.
The first time I hold the God rest her soul, she looked at me good and said, Ewa, there are certain things I feel say, Uncle Willie for teacher, Scott for teacher, so and so, so on. Not that she can, but certain
I
things,
think it's best.
Yeah.
because she don't relate to those things. It was she who have it trusted by other mothers for them sons come get them experience there. Because, and I segue just, you'll understand it. If you see a mother, see a boy pick me at 5-6 year old, and him a ride a little tricycle, him and it at the same height. Where him a drop go? Yes, sir. And him a take him little time, it barely a go and drop. And the first thing she do, you
Run
know
back, pick
what?
up.
Is that right?
Pick
And
that.
she, no, that's it. She get
No
rid
more
of it.
tricycle.
And you say, here what? Look at the way mothers understand something, and that is their boys start off as their babies. And sometimes make mistake and turn them into their boyfriend.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Regular something now.
Check every time you see the
Psychology
road are
101.
black in Jamaica. The women are out there making sure to tell you the reason why Tom. You don't see one whole heap of man out there stop and say, oh, because we not accept we pick me as bad man. What me say what is?
Never.
Me never hear no Dan. I me know a few or of any Dan who said to them son, you hear me? I need you to load at school something there now. No, but one ton doctor, no, waste of time. The 9 times out of 10, even the most dysfunctional man I try to tell him son, say, listen me good. You can't become anything else than great.
But Rodney, that was exactly my situation.
All right. What
I
the man
could
will
never,
tell
to
us?
this day, I never spoke yet on my fight to sell weed. So, I can't smoke.
We grew up on that. Those I do that, as I say. And
Exactly.
I wanted to reinforce the points that both of you made, but all of you made. There was a study done in the US on incarcerated males. And they looked at those that had the mother in the household, single mother households, both parents in the household, and those who grew up with just a father.
Yeah.
There was a significant number, or it was unevenly yoked towards the ones who were single mother households. And the presence of a male, sometimes not a father, but a father figure, just the presence of a male in the household or around a child growing up reduces his risk of being exposed to the things that would get him incarcerated by, I think it's like 60% or more.
Yeah.
But
It was significant.
the number
Man. I saw it.
is vast. And they must show you, say, yeah, while a youth might, if a youth grew up without a mother, he might lack certain emotional responses, but he will be fundamentally more calculated because he will think more. Another thing we feel like is another fundamental value. The youth them not think for themselves, bro. It's like them programmed by whatever them think cool on social media and TV. And they can't separate that and realize, say, yo, that's not people's real life.
A sheep will eat sheep.
You understand?
No,
Exactly.
You know-
It's sheep will eat sheep. We not have no
No
the
sheep
real
will-
lion them now step up and say, yo, we could do this. Me yet to see a modern day Marcus Garvey. What Marcus Garvey our generation did?
That rough is
Every time we see one,
So like half a billion.
no, every time we see it look like we see the sprinklings,
It won't look the same.
it got weak like
It won't
everything
look the same,
else.
I'm sure, but Please, we are call out for them because we need a revolution.
Do you really need another Marcus Garvey?
The thing is,
Absolutely.
the thing is it's really tricky, because it's just what come with it. Well, I don't know about Marcus Garvey days, but I know about these days. I can clearly identify. Every day I go up on the road, I pay attention to it. There was a point in time when I used to count just how much man just stand up on a street side from point A to point B. Them not have nothing. Them not really have no purpose. It would seem. You know, me not talk to them, so I can't know for sure. But just loitering, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's unbelievable, and it will sound weird, but like especially when you go up on the road at night time, yeah, when you say you're gonna do road and you got that dance and that dance and that dance. The amount of man who are out there were really, them not gonna tell you say that, But it's a daddy them a look.
Yeah.
No, it's
a
real.
daddy them a look, That's why them a go call your father and dads and my daddy.
Yeah.
And that's why them say it like a joke, like it's just a thing. But a real
gold kind, the man Godfather.
No, man, but
But it's a real thing.
Pay attention.
That is weird something now.
Pay attention
You
to
know,
it,
so
man.
them whisper to you. Yo! Them a bad man, but them whisper to you and close to you because you're them daddy.
Yeah. So it's
Our
like,
uncle.
it's like, and that's why them call them one another. Yo dog. Is a one of them? Is really a one of them? Is a one of them a look?
But when big
You
man
know, call the dog them and put them on a leash and say, yo, do that, and them get a treat, and do that, and them
But
get a
we
they want guidance. They want
we
guidance. They want.
No, them not say no. Then that me a try say.
Yeah.
Me not say no. The thing with that is what you're taking on. I think that is why more people don't do it and don't take up the responsibility of leading, because is what you're leading.
Mm-hmm.
Is what you're leading. Are you leading an army, or are you leading?
Raised in a society.
So no, but it's not even. Is
Are you leading some kittens?
right? Are you leading an army? Are you leading a pack of wolves, or is a pack of mongrels?
I don't want to lead the army.
That's
some of that.
the problem. So that's what
I
I'm
don't
saying.
want to lead the army.
And that is the thing with most man who have to figure it out, and figure it out for them family and for them own wolf pack. Them don't want to figure it out for the greater community, because the greater community come with too much mongrel in the wolf pack, too much fuckery, too much tree what done been the wrong way already.
Away from the sunlight.
Literally.
Away from the sunlight.
Literally.
But it take a long time for your tree to grow and bend.
Yeah.
Brother, in our community where the four of us live in the same community, we did see one boy that was a problem. 50 boy did good out there. We sit down there and watch it.
Yeah, man.
We notice that one that
That's what I
start
said.
job for 5 more. We are say, you see them?
Yeah, man. Do all of them.
Then now we end up being 4 hours sit down, see him here, and I look. What we do? The youths them gone in my lad.
Acho.
If you give up on them.
Bro, do not try to lead an army. Me been through that philosophy where me have a whole heap of people who me think fit in.
Myself.
You see, if all of it, and I said this now, man, I was saying me go around on one different part. A one youth.
What? I have a few.
No, a one youth.
You know what I mean, man?
You want to try. It don't have to be your youth.
Guy.
No, and that's it. I happy you say that.
There's
Yeah,
one youth. Him don't have to be this promising youth.
Yeah, man.
Every youth have promise. So if you decide, say, I did that, good.
No, you can't fix.
Look, for now,
Yeah.
we
You
have
can't
to,
fix.
for now, we have to think about him.
Yeah.
Because we see, say, at least you know, and maybe I might call for help, but at least you know, if all of we did make a decision, but most of we who comfortable enough not being that, we so busy trying to go that we happy we leave some round there, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we look round there, we say, boy, the place are run away. Bro, we did not have 100 youths with a problem. Just last week, we sat down and had 10 youths with a problem.
Yeah,
so
but,
you know, so in a
but
And we are going because we are facilitate the same fuckery that we're talking against.
in a 2022, I made a decision that I was going to dedicate a piece of my life towards servicing. Because my sister said, there are certain things that I have a whole heap to learn, and every day is an opportunity for improvement.
Absolutely.
Right? So I don't know so I do that, but I understand as well that there are a lot of things that I have learned in my journey that I can impart to a younger youth. So I try to figure out ways in which I can share certain knowledge. As I get it, I pass it on. Get it, pass it on. Get it, pass it on. And it's an important thing for each we do. Each one teach one. You hear them say, I am because we are Ubuntu kind of vibe.
Yeah.
It's a thing where it is the only way forward, really and truly.
But that's why I mentioned earlier the term the greater good. Because if you allow the greater good to stop at your door, sooner or later you're not going to the door.
Yeah.
What is outside is going to come in as well.
Yeah.
And I try as best as possible to impact any life positively that I come across.
Yeah.
And again, it comes back to being a real man. A real man can't just be real for his household.
True.
A real man have to be real for society. I am the type of man, whether people define me as real man or not. If I am driving on the roadside and I see a little boy or girl or school picnic or do some things where not in sync with what should be happening, me I stop.
See it.
Now the truth is, I might be fool because them little youth are now going some foolishness. But I can't help myself. Me I stop and tell them go on home.
Yeah, man.
I when me see in a video the other day where a brother video some picnic and I run them, tell them to go on. And I see people in the comments that talk about you, Lord, pick them on the video. Hello, how can I call myself a real man and say my Jamaican sons and daughters, well, although I don't know them.
They are your children.
They are absolutely.
How can I
Are your
pass
children.
them and know say, all right, at least my picnic their own. And my picnic get picked up from school and
Bro, there are
no.
times you
can't consider yourself a real man and okay with
love
that.
other children
Have to.
more than those
You can't be more, you know, than your father, biologically.
No. What may I say to you is, there are times, whether by association, family, friendship, or even just service, there are times what you invest in the betterment of youths or our youth. You give that knowing that your child don't need this.
Easily.
Because you're a child of community. Remember this, you know. No matter how good you be as a father, you know.
Yeah.
There will always be another 6. We will always be there to make sure say, okay, fine, your youth guided and your youth alright.
Absolutely.
That youth don't have community. That youth don't have foundation and them something there. But that youth have influence.
You speak to something. More you forgot, and then I'm going to introduce a twist.
But me I go. Alright, so but is that twist me have to. So alright. So it's interesting how as we speak, we tend to be settling on
Ideas.
not just ideas, but is parenting.
Yeah.
As fathers, we tend to be settling. So you can clearly see that is one of the foundations of being a real man is to continue to lead and inspire and guide others. But I had a conversation with my wife the other day, and so it goes some fuck up, but bear with me. You don't know my style, but very. So I sit down and it just hit me one morning like, I say, yo, where you get out of having children? I like to sit down and I think about it and I say, absolutely fucking nothing is not for you. I mean, we can go down the rabbit hole and talk about, the fulfillment and pride and the joy you get when you see you grow. But you can't. Them things are not tangible. And when you reach a point spiritually where you start dressing back from your emotions and observing your emotions as experiences and not necessarily that you're engulfed in them, you realize that these things are fleeting. You know, happiness, sorrow, all of these things them come and go like the wind. There's no grip to them. Them just disappear. So what is really the purpose of having a child?
Procreation.
Like me I think about which means that is the only thing, it's just continuance of the race. Which means now that what your child really is an offering and a presentation and you're giving something to what you believe the future should look like. That is really what your child is. So it's
not a bell for that.
Is
the man have gold kinds.
No man, but
that is absolutely
it's an offering that you're making towards the future society.
Not to me. Not to your betterment, bro. Or not to your promotion.
Exactly.
So let me contribution.
That's why you don't have to love your children.
But that's why.
But you must grow them.
Let me
take care of them. You don't need to love them.
Let me encapsulate that for you.
Okay.
Somebody, there's an old saying that says, you're sitting in the shade today because somebody planted a tree 20 years ago. This pet sperm that we decide to keep and grow them for how much years?
Yeah. That's one way to look at it. Yeah.
That's really what they are.
Yeah.
It's just a pet sperm that we decided to do.
It's where you got
We are loyal.
20 years down the line, that pet sperm will start to contribute, hopefully positively, towards society.
All depending on what you would have fed.
Exactly, which is why it is important that we now bend them towards the light. I never say a tree grow away from light yet, but it is important that we grow them towards the light so them understand, say, yo, we could try to be better. And the 1% rule is something we always practice. 1% rule. Try to be 1%. Today, try to be 1% better than you were at something yesterday.
Yeah.
You don't have to be everything. You can't be 1% better at everything, Chris. You have to be one thing. You know what I mean?
Pick something.
Absolutely.
But you alone can't bend your youth to the light.
No, but you said it. You spoke to it. You said community.
Yeah.
Brother, the sense of community in Jamaica is gone to zero. You know?
But all the way so self-centered.
And it's not just Jamaica. That, to be fair, it's not just Jamaica.
No, but what you say? You can't be that man. And your greatest thing is that your youth did come first in the class, your youth are the best runner, your youth are get scholarship, your youth did turn doctor. Yeah. And then to also brag that out of the entire community, and your youth alone great, you have to ask yourself some question. What kind of man are you if within the graph of life you have managed to create something great in a one corner by yourself?
Super influence.
It means that what you have done is burn down the rest of the place in order for this alone to grow.
You look like you're great. And that's why that's my favorite dancer.
So something wrong with you?
You're not a star until you make a star. Until then, you are rumbar.
Yeah. Which is why you see them kind of reasoning. We need to understand the depths of the reasoning. That parenting and fathership and you can separate yourself, which is why there's a man in this world who has never helped to bring a child into this world, who has been a greater father than many of us.
Wally.
There's been a man out there who have 20 children, who is still a better father than a man who have one. In the end, if your aim is to walk into this world and to achieve and to leave this world and be remembered without anything else outside of your circle, you have failed as a man. You don't need to become a success and get applause and awards for all you have done. You just need another human being in life to say, you see him helped me to think better or to be better. That win. That is where that is your purpose.
You see, in that vein, I want us to use this platform now for this. Because something that I believe is missing from the youth them is exposure. Unfortunately, all them exposed to
hitting the nail on the head, sir.
The foolishness that we see on TikTok. I mean, I'm not really for bash TikTok, but it has become that. Yeah. You know what I mean? It has become more of the arms outside the world, where you just got to see people act out of the norm.
And Coffee, sometime we go circus, go watch clown. We need to appreciate that. It's
Absolutely.
a clown show.
Yeah.
And it have its place.
Yeah.
But too many of us are thinking too far into it.
But in terms of
And
exposure,
it, you know.
I wasn't exposed to a lot until I start making it in entertainment and I start go other places and I experience different cultures and different ways of thinking and people who view the world differently. And I say, yo, the only reason I used to think like that is because I grew up on an island where all we know is X. Is it me? But them man you grew up on the other side of the world and them don't know them thing. So for them, when me I say sound like foolishness, but what them I say to me actually makes sense. Yeah.
But Coffee, more I go one step further with the exposure. Because it's a real life thing of my experience. As I coming from Maxfield, the cultures, the reality is so much different from even Portmore. I wasn't used to the concept of having a bathroom inside a house.
You have to go outside to use the bathroom.
It's a tenement yard. All of the yard them in there. You have a bathroom over there, so you're used to having a little thing where you walk with when you go to the shower. Go stand up and wait. And make sure you try to go out like earlier than everybody else. You're used to your neighbor them and you're always a war because the two of them in the kitchen and then the body touch my stove a war. So that was natural. The first time I live in a space where we have own a kitchen in our yard. It's weird. So
It's
what
weird,
I was
but you reach.
as a child, what I was aspiring to was the big house in the tenement yard, because most tenement yard have one house where the owner them only live in another house there. Where the rooms are a little nicer. That was my aspiration, to be in there in the ghetto.
Because you thought everybody in the world lived the same way
like
you
that. The first time I start go above half a tree. I saw foreign, how about this? people live like this.
You know, the nice
and it made me aspire to so much more.
Coffee. Well, Coffee no. Craig no. Talk about the youths them. Well, left school. And when you as a big man do something and I say, yo, them time they're probably Asylum or Quad. And you are the grown adult people. And a man stand up in a New Kingston and stays and I say,
yeah man, I look up in the sky like a New York.
A jungle him live.
What is?
And you say, bro, you move.
You can walk from here and come right
And it's around the road.
And he might tell you point blank, say, you see that black there?
Me not cross this.
Me go from Spanish Town Road, come up to Waltham, to and at this song.
The reality.
Him live there, war there, go school there, get picnic there, mother there. The man say, the man them in the car. When everybody roll out, you know, it's a one youth alone exposed. And you say, brother, if me did know this, me wouldn't do that. That's something, you know, we'd have to start somewhere else first, you know.
Yeah man, wouldn't take on the path.
So me I say, then brother, for me reach a Carib, you know, literally reach half a tree, and the man I say, you know, say, from a day me I preach, so if I step in that place, you might be surprised
I won't be.
that the same youth, so we say, them so engaged in this and that, and them just a focus on what I can be. Because that's what help them with TikTok and them something. Right, the self-actualization in our space. You're also surprised the things that them don't. No.
But bro.
And they think town man check rural.
Exactly. Worse when they go to country.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm making my point of view to me. I love talking to you them one. But I also like making no say, yo, you see the lifestyle of your favorite entertainer, because them believe the entertainer them paint a nice picture. Say, oh yo, I'm drive this and I live this one. I have 20 that and I walk with this for my belly and $20 million in my pocket. Bro, them broke like. If you ever know.
And relative to what you can have, the life that you can have, easy.
But then when I have a conversation with some young youth, I can say, yo dog, but achieve the thing where you're up on it, where your favorite entertainer them talk about. working 9 to 5. So you tell me now what you want to do. You want to spend sleepless nights at the studio, or you want to invest in yourself, build yourself, find a career path, chase your thing, build your dream.
What is success to a man?
You know how difficult it is to create something from your imagination. Like you just think about something.
Yeah, but what is success to a man? What is success to a man?
And I say this to you. I'm perfectly comfortable and accept the fact say, and everybody I gotta achieve material success.
No, but what is material? Are you a successful person, Coffee?
I'm very much successful.
Good.
You know why?
You're successful.
I'm winning right now.
And I'm saying to you, you are not our Daddy Williams.
No.
Your name not upon building. He was successful.
But I don't need that.
But his success don't diminish yours.
No.
It's subjective.
And as youths, we have to also point out to the youths, successful is not a title that belongs to one specific place and point in a life. Ambition and aspiration don't mean you don't achieve success. And we need to say too much of them youth here, seeing we and greater than we socially or financially, and thinking, bro, me not reach nowhere in a life. I have achieved zero because we have to understand we have a role to play. The things we abhor and find to be abject.
Man, him go deep. Him go school.
We have to understand our role in making sure that these things. Google. You know what? Let me give him some more familiar. I need not dilate.
Well, that's
But
the bell. That's the bell.
Yeah.
That mean we'll be here. We'll be the topic. Closing words.
My closing word is this. The first thing on your journey to be a real man, whether you're sure or unsure if you're there, is that you need to create your philosophy as to who you are and who you want to be and ultimately need to be.
Mm-hmm.
And then allow that to filter in every space that you exist.
Reverse engineer it.
Straight
So
up.
start with the end inside.
Yes, man.
That's a bad mission.
Yeah. Me and basically that me that's it too. Have a vision and a plan, and don't be afraid to take the first step in faith towards executing the steps on that plan.
Big message. So that you either win or you learn. You never lose.
Never.
Go out there
What is a lose?
Jump
No,
out.
no.
It might sound ridiculous, but as an old man did tell me one time, one of the things about becoming a man, anytime you find yourself being somebody who you'd want your children to be, and proud of it,
Yeah, man. Reach.
you're on the way. Because no matter who you are, you could have been the worst man and feel good about it. But you wouldn't want to see that in the eyes of a child. So once you are becoming somebody that you want to see children be in a positive light, and that light is always close enough, but you'll never reach. Keep going. Just keep going.
See that? Rodney said, live for more than yourself. Live for the next generation. Live for your youth, whether it be your youth or somebody
I
else.
know, yeah.
And you see that jacket conversation there. Brother, I'm going to get some questions. We have to have part 2 of the jacket conversation, I swear. We get some questions.
To wear or not to wear?
Mandatory patriotism.
I'm sounding. To wear or not to wear? Bespoke or not? Come on, boy. Come on, Taylor. Yeah.
Well, I want to say give thanks to the support, everybody.
Well, shit,
it has been overwhelming. Of course, every episode thus far has been sponsored by Ice and Plastic, but hopefully by next week we will actually have a sponsor logo, a flash.
No, now that we have him sitting here now, you must understand.
Yes.
This is
strategic as well.
this is what we call the corporate good.
Hey.
Yes.
Everybody me know you know.
Yeah.
So be honest.
Otis landing sponsor.
Come on, man.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ain't nobody come and see you all this.
That is true.
Until next week, this has been another episode of UnScripted. Let's go our whole firm in Babylon get to youths.
Bless up.
That is it.
Yes, sir.
man.